Are you lying on your floor right now, staring at the ceiling, wondering how you just spent 3 hours apologizing for something they did to you? Somewhere along the line, you convinced yourself that being a good person meant absorbing bad behavior. But you are not a rehabilitation center for badly behaved adults with a God complex. You want to be a loyal friend. You want to see the best in people. But there is a very sharp line between showing loyalty and being held as an emotional hostage by someone else's dysfunction. To determine if you've crossed that line, we have to run a behavioral audit. This is a cold look at the data points of your interaction, designed to identify the specific patterns of a parasitic connection. Stepping back and looking at the raw data of how someone treats you is the only reliable way to cut through their emotional manipulation. It forces you to see the destructive reality of the relationship for exactly what it is. The first anomaly in the audit is the professional victim. If every single story they tell ends with them being the betrayed protagonist and everyone else being the villain, pay attention. You are dealing with someone who has never seen their own reflection in a mirror at accountability. This maps their primary defense, flipping the script. These people could burn your house down and then complain that the smoke is making them cough. The moment you point out the damage they caused, they reverse the flow of the conversation, directing all blame back at you. They spin the narrative so aggressively that you end up apologizing just to make the conflict stop. The second red flag is when the relationship feels like a second job. A connection with another human being should not require a 40-hour work week and a mountain of emotional labor just to keep it from exploding. They operate as a psychic vampire. They demand total triage, calling only when their life is a mess to dump their toxic garbage. But the second you have a win or something to celebrate, they vanish. You deserve people who pour back into your cup. You do not deserve people who show up to your life with a straw and an attitude. A dynamic that requires constant crisis management is not a friendship. It is an active resource deficit, and if you keep funding it, it will bankrupt your peace of mind. Let go of the rope. The third anomaly moves from draining your energy to actively attacking your self-esteem. We all love banter, but there is a very clear line between a funny roast and a calculated strike against your insecurities. If they repeatedly pick at your career or your appearance, and then hide behind the excuse that it was just a joke, you're looking at a hater with an access pass. They use honesty as a weapon to keep you small and manageable. This brings us to the fourth sign and the most critical system failure discovered in the audit. You look in the mirror and you do not recognize yourself anymore. Take a look at your own daily behavior. Are you angry all the time? Are you constantly anxious? Are you intentionally shrinking your personality so you don't set them off? We map this as system corruption. When you change your core essence to fit into their suffocating box, you are deleting your own software to make room for their malware, overwriting your identity for their chaos. You owe it to yourself to purge that toxic code and get back to the original version of who you were before you started prioritizing their demands over your own sanity. When a connection forces you to erase your own personality just to maintain the peace, the relationship itself is the threat. The final sign is loyalty that comes with an expiration date. Loyalty is an active lifestyle, not a convenient catchphrase. Their loyalty is highly conditional and heavily self-serving. Here is a predictive data point. If they are sitting with you talking trash about their supposed best friend, you can bet they are doing the same to you the minute you leave the room. If you want the ultimate stress test, simply stop initiating. Stop texting first, stop making the plans, and watch what happens. If you stop putting in the effort and the relationship instantly ceases to exist, let it stay dead. Do not perform CPR on a ghost. You might be telling yourself that you have years of history with them, but shared history is never a valid justification to tolerate present misery. It is time to step through the door and leave the sunk costs behind. Removing these individuals stops the bleeding. Growth requires a graveyard, and you have to let the versions of yourself that accepted crumbs die so that you can finally find a higher standard for your time. Stop destroying your own resources to provide comfort to someone who offers zero return on your investment. Your table is reserved for those who contribute value, not those who arrive only to consume. Walking away secures a permanent victory for your self-respect. If this video gave you the push you needed, hit that like button. Leave a comment below letting me know which of these signs hit closest to home for you, and subscribe for more direct truths. Choose your peace, Choose yourself. And I'll see you in the next one.